Hey, what's up? I'm Ace, and I'm gonna go on about this football, or I guess soccer anime called Aoashi. It's a pretty dope show about this kid Ashito's road to professional play. Before getting into it, I'm gonna be spoiling the anime heavy, so if you haven't watched it and you've been meaning to, you should probably watch it first. Oh, and I'm gonna just assume you've seen the show and kinda just talk about it. I'll try and provide some context for if you haven't seen it at all, but I probably won't be retelling the anime like that, so keep that in mind. So I'm gonna start off by just praising the show. I really liked how they actually referenced real life football. They mentioned how their head coach used to play in La Liga, and they bring up past and current strikers somewhat frequently. I know sports anime sometimes do this, like Kuroko mentioning Shaq and Curry, as well as like recently Blue Lock talking about Messi and referencing Neymar. But regardless, I thought it was dope. I say that to get into what I really want to hit regarding the show. I really enjoyed just the concept the show is going for with the team we're seeing. I mentioned right now that the head coach in this anime used to play professionally in universe, so he got to witness peak Barcelona and to some extent I guess peak Spain play football, and I guess he was enamored by it or something, because years later he is now attempting to recreate that similar style of play with his youth club, Esperion. So off rip, this show is actually pretty deep football wise, which I thought was pretty sick. Even if you're not like a huge fan or the most knowledgeable on the sport, the anime does a good job of explaining what's going on. Another thing I thought was sick about the anime was the switch up with the show's protagonist, Ashito. As a character, he's just fun as fuck to watch. We meet him as a fully offensive minded striker. Like, he's dead ass the embodiment of the word. So much so that he boldly proclaims himself the reincarnation of current and past strikers, as well as going around telling people that his position is genius striker. And I mean, he was half right. Early on, we're shown that he's actually a hidden prodigy, I guess, that just needs to be polished up. He unknowingly possesses the ability to read players extraordinarily well, so much so that he can basically memorize where all the players are on the pitch and act accordingly. To draw a comparison, if you've seen Kuroko, you can kind of just think of it as Takao's Hawkeye. It's even given a cool bird of visualization in the anime, so we can get the idea that he basically is aware of the whole pitch. And I mean, that's just a really good offensive trait to have, and the head coach Fukuda intends to maximize on that. And he does so by initially inviting him to try out for the team, which I mean he gets into, and he just is able to grow and polish his skills a bit with the academy team. So what did I mean by the switch up with this character? Well, the thing is, Fukuda never intended for Ashito to be a striker on his team. He recruited him instead to play as a defender. And dude, I mean, I like the twist. I've never really seen anything like this in a sports anime. So I mean, it was cool as fuck. And I mean, it was done well, right? Like, they hooked us with the striker Ashito, and then they did a whole 180 on us. And it's like, oh, what the fuck? What is this? It has great shock value. And it also makes sense, I guess, in universe with what they're trying to do football-wise. Since, like I said, the goal is a Barcelona-esque team. So heavy emphasis on passing play and to some extent positionless play. In the sense that the team's defenders can go up and competently orchestrate offensive plays or kind of just score at will. So I mean, yeah, Ashito would be a goated ass defender for a team like this, especially with his ability to read the pitch. But although I like this story wise, I'm still kinda iffy on it, to be honest. Like, dude, I get what we're going for here, and it's dope, don't get me wrong, but defender, bro, like, yeah, he's a playmaking defender, but he's still a defender. Speaking purely on entertainment value, and I guess just like what I want to see in an anime, I don't know if it's really that cool to watch. It's kind of like, would I rather watch and follow the career of Gerard Piqué or Dani Alves, or would I rather watch Neymar or Messi? And I mean, to me at least, I would much rather watch Neymar or Messi, so there's that. And I know there's fans of like defenders, like you can say, oh, Puyol was pretty cool, or like Rafa Marquez or something, but like off purely entertainment, like, call me a casual, but I mean, forwards are just way cooler, bro. The show even brings this up in a cheeky way with one of the side characters. She brings up the idea idea of defending being kinda lame and Ashito being suited as a central attacker who facilitates and scores, but it's kinda just brushed off and we're basically given the answer of, hey man, just let the coach cook, bro, and fucking don't be slipping on defense, man. It can be cool as fuck. Like I said, I get what they're going for, but I honestly think the story should have been him being a striker, or even just like a dude in midfield. The author obviously knows ball, so why not make him a Messi type player? The coach's reasoning for Ashito not being a striker is that he's undersized and like lacks power or some shit like that, and that his skill set is more suited for an attacking defender, which I guess makes sense within the confines of his team since he already has like a striker or something. But like, bro, it also just doesn't make sense. How are you gonna tell Ashito that he's undersized and lacks power when the greatest football player on earth, which is someone that this dude witnessed in La Liga, by the way, he saw Messi decimate teams as an undersized forward, yet he turns around and tells his prospect that he can't do the same? I'm just not sold on it, bro. I'm also not really sold on it like personality wise. Like, it doesn't really fit the character of Ashito in my opinion. Like I said earlier, this dude's just a total fucking egoist. He's most entertaining while scoring and being on the attack. If he were a more hype defender, maybe it'd work out better, but I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, this dude literally compares himself to Ronaldo. He's like, I'm the reincarnation of Ronaldo, even though he's still alive. Why is this guy a defender? It just doesn't, like, purely shock value, it works, but like, it's kind of lame, bro. And that's one of my main critiques on this anime. And I'm not even trying to like draw heavy Blue Lock comparisons, because I've seen hella people do that, right? They're like, oh, Mirashi, Blue Lock clears, or whatever the fuck. They're two separate shows with two separate ideas. One's a heavy focus on team play, the other is fucking just, it's me, I'm a fucking egoist, I can do this. So I get the differences, right? But why make him a defender, bro? That's so fucking lame. That also kind of just leads into my second problem with the show, which is the other players on the team. We just need more hype, man, and just overall cooler teammates for Ashito. Keep in mind though, this could totally change with season 2 since he's being promoted and shit, but as of right now for season 1, it's ass. Like, the cast is trash. We need more captivating players, especially if your main character is a defender. Like, yeah, seeing Ashito get a stop and orchestrate on offense is cool, but everyone around him at this point in time is just kind of lame. Like, I get that not everyone is a star and role players are a thing, but like, damn, I hate to compare and shit, but just real quick, let's take a look at other animes in this genre, and let's take a look at their cast. Let's take Haikyuu for example. The team we follow is Karasuno. They're an all-around team, right? They have an ace, 2 rising first years who just elevate the team, but even with that being said, their team isn't filled with nobodies. They all have personalities and are memorable. Tsukishima is a shit talker, Noya and the bald dude are like hype bringers. Their captain is cool, calm, and collected. Overall solid leader. Even their bench dudes are memorable, like their meat rider Yamaguchi. He's like their clutch server. What I'm getting at is that everyone has a purpose, and I can totally get you being a fan of like Noya over the main character Hinata, or liking Kageyama or their captain, or you get what I'm saying? In Aoashi, all the players outside of Ashito are just lame as shit. Like, you can't tell me you're a fan of fucking No Eyes over here. Like, that's not possible. You're fucking lying to me. I'm not gonna fucking believe you if you tell me that shit. No one is cool or memorable enough for me to care about them. The only ones I remember right now off the top are like the Yakuza dude, their striker who was in a slump, and the green hair kid. Oh, and this one blonde dude I had hopes for, but the dude kind of just flopped. Everyone else is deadass just nobodies. Like, we get an attempt at building them up and showcasing them, but I kind of just thought it was meh. I don't really think it was enough for me to care heavy about Ashito's teammates. Oh, and it's not even just his teammates, the opponents we see are also just lame as hell. We get like a revenge story with a guy who failed to make the team in the beginning, and that's kind of it. And even that was just fucking lame, like the dude is ass. There's no memorable teams like in Haikyuu or Kuroko. We don't get to see like a Nekoma, Aoba Josei, a Shutoko, or a Kaiju type team. There's no real hype other than seeing the team grow and play more, like what Fukuda envisions. What makes sports anime, and I guess just sports in general, cool as fuck to me is seeing the team you're rooting for beat a strong ass team or just grow from losing to strong opponents. This show desperately needs hype to me. It needs like these opponents, it needs these guys, it needs an Naomine to overcome, or like a Murasaki Bara to instill hopelessness which the team can overcome. or just cool athletes in general, like a Kisei, an Aoashi, or an Oikawa. Even though they're two different shows with two different ideas and shit, even in like the soccer genre, right? Blue Lock, they're two different shows and shit, but Blue Lock is filled with memorable characters. Bachira, Nagi, fucking Baro. Aoashi just doesn't have this. We don't have these memorable characters or teams, which sucks because I mean, it's a cool idea, it's a sick concept, like Barcelona style football in an anime. It's cool and they're like hella technical and realistic about it. Maybe we should dial back some of the realism and just throw in some sick ass shit in here, because like we literally watched them fight to stave off relegation. Like, bro, what the fuck is that? And another thing I didn't like is that they make it seem like Ashito is like some bum and he's ass. Like, dude, throw this guy on any other team as he's like progressed, right? Throw him on any other team and he's a starter, he's a forward, but they treat him like he's just ass or something. Like, it doesn't make sense. I mentioned this earlier, but I'll say it again, this could all change in season 2, like what I'm criticizing the show on. Since I haven't read the manga, I deadasses don't know. Like, maybe Esperion just gets way cooler and the A-team starters are actually like sick ass characters with personalities who face cool ass teams with dope ass players on them. But as is right now, strictly speaking on season 1, that is something that I just felt was really missing in Aoashi. Outside of the players, the other two side characters seemed cool. Hana and I think her name was Kaido were pretty alright. Just like two knowledgeable characters, I guess. Hana is like a nutritionist and kind of helps Ashito get his body in game shape, and Kaido was an aspiring coach, so her input is pretty cool from time to time. We also get some bromance subplot between Hana and Ashito, which is pretty alright, pretty wholesome stuff, cute interactions and shit, and I kind of want to see where that goes, to be honest, so hopefully we see it develop more in season 2. And I mean, yeah, although I did just kind of fucking take a shit on the show, I did still enjoy it, and I'm super hopeful for season 2. If it turns out that this was just like an introduction and the next part is where the anime truly ramps up and shows off cool ass shit, that'd be sick. But as is, the show is 24 episodes of a dope concept with a cool twist that's hindered by iffy execution. That's basically all I want to talk about regarding the show. I thought it was cool in the way it approached the sport. You can totally tell the author likes football and is a fan, but it's definitely missing some key things to make it a sick ass sports anime. But yeah, would I recommend the show? Honestly, I'd say yeah, solely on my hope for season 2. Like deadass Barcelona style football in an anime following a striker who is pushed to try and excel as a defender to complete the team. Sick ass concept, which may hopefully have better execution. But yeah, appreciate it if you made it this far. For sure though, like the video, subscribe, and just kind of pass the video and channel around since I'm trying to grow. That'd be dope. And yeah, that's about it. Later.